Good morning, Central. This is Pastor Matt. Glad to be with you guys this morning. I just wanted to touch base. I know it's been almost a week that we've been under quarantine, and I wanted to let you know I really miss you guys. I wish that we could be together this weekend and worship together. I missed that, but we'll be back online at 9:30 and until the quarantine's lifted. And speaking of that, I just wanted to touch base with you a couple of things that we have opportunities for as believers during these crazy times. One of those is we have an opportunity to be generous. We live in a world that is fearful right now. It's panicking. And you can tell if you've been to the store at any time, you can see people beginning to hoard groceries, that they're beginning to buy up all of the things that they can because they're afraid they might run out. And this is a time for us as a church to be generous. I know it's kind of a little bit counterintuitive, but a lot of times when there's fear and when there's panic involved, generosity helps combat that because it reminds us that we should be thinking about others rather than ourselves, that we should be living outside of ourselves. And we can afford to be generous. Here's the thing. If we really believe that we have a Father, a Heavenly Father who cares about us, who knows our needs and who loves us deeply, right? That you look at the birds of the air, the flowers of the field, that He cares for them, that He will care for us too. We can afford to be generous. We can afford to give away the things that most of the world will say, no, you need to hold on to that. And so during this time, I'm just going to encourage you, as you see needs, look for ways, creative ways to meet those needs. One of the things we want to do within the body is if you have a need, to let us know, and we're going to post that out and see if there are other folks within the body who can meet that need and kind of do an Acts 2 kind of thing with the church, that those who didn't have enough, let folks know, and those who had more gave so that they both had enough to get by. And so we want to do that as a church. Another thing I want to do as far as the generosity thing is to share stories of generosity. And so if you hear of a story, or maybe you're a part of a story where generosity has been displayed, then it's not a boasty kind of thing, but it's a way for us to encourage each other and to remind each other that we serve a really big God, a generous God, a God who is super loving and who has given everything for us, and so that we ought to live the same kind of lives and model that for those who are around us. The other thing is, this is an opportunity, it's a unique opportunity during this time to share your story. Lots of folks, when disaster happens, when chaos is abounding, when the world is shaking around them, begin to think about eternal things, or they think about their own mortality and what's going to happen next. And so this is a great time for you to share your story and to share the hope that you have in Jesus. And as God provides those opportunities, just be bold and step in and say, this is why when this happens, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of what's going to happen next, because I believe that the God who promised me that He would save me is going to be faithful to His promise, and that in the end I will be saved. I was just thinking, we were talking here in the office. A friend of mine, his wife has an opportunity with one of her older friends who they've had some conversations, but now this older friend is beginning to think about death and dying, and so there's an opportunity there, and she's taking a step in that direction, and so I would encourage you, do that. Be bold during this time and share the love of Jesus. Live a different kind of life. Instead of being fearful, be faithful during this time. Be generous in giving as best you can. And you know what? I hope that we get to see each other really soon. Have a great rest of your day. Go Bears.